Yo, what is up, guys? It's Virtual 1670 here, and today I'd like to go over the Death Trap speed build for Nightmare Dungeons. You can do regular dungeons with this. It is very efficient build. It's a little bit different from the regular Death Trap build that I posted earlier on a week or something ago. And you only need to change a couple of skills and some aspects on your gear. So, for the speed farming build, what you want to do is you want to go 1 point in puncture, 1 point in enhanced, and 1 point in fundamental punctures. After you're done putting points in your basic skills, you're going to come down to your core skills. Now, your core skills, you're going to want to go twisting blades. You're going to want to max that out at 5. You're going to want to take enhanced twisting blades and advanced twisting blades. After you're done putting points into your twisting blades, which is for the most part going to be your main attack throughout the dungeon, um, you're going to want to go down to sturdy and siphoning strikes. You're going to want to max those out with 3 points in each one, and then you're going to want to put 1 point in stutter step. That is your core skills. That's it. After you're done putting points in there, you're going to come down to your agility skills. And now this is where it gets interesting. This is where it makes your build a little bit faster than your regular death trap build. You're going to be putting 1 point in shadow step. You're going to put 1 point in enhanced shadow step and methodical shadow step. You're going to come down to weapons mastery. You're going to put 3 points in weapons mastery. You're going to put 1 point in rapid gambits, 1 point in trick attacks, and 3 points in concussive. Okay? Once you've done that, you're going to go over to dash and you're going to put the 1 point into dash. Now, shadow step and dash is what makes this build a little bit faster in nightmares. It allows you to move throughout the dungeon pretty quickly depending on your cooldown reduction on your gear. We'll go over that in just a minute or two. Um, you're going to have an aspect that helps you with your shadow step. It's going to give you one extra charge on your shadow step, or I believe 2 charges. What happens is with that aspect, if we go over into the gear, you have an aspect that goes onto your gear that is Shadow Step has an additional charge. Killing an enemy with Shadow Step refunds a charge and increases the damage of Shadow Step by 6% for 2 seconds, up to 30%. It is a rogue only aspect, but that's what helps makes your Shadow Step more you have more movement within the nightmare dungeons. It allows you to jump behind an enemy, give him that stab, and then you're going to replenish your stack without using your one of your charges down here. You have 2 charges, and you're also going to be using your dash to dash around the map as fast as you can. Now, depending on your cooldown, these will come off pretty quick. Back to the points. So we were at agility skills. Once you're done with your agility skills, you're going to move down into subterfuge, and you're going to put 1 point in poison trap, 1 point in enhanced poison, 3 points in exploit, and 3 points in malice. Now I've got some extra skills on some of my skills here, but that's my gear allowing me to have those extra skills. Um, Once you're done in the subterfuge abilities here, you're going to move down into your imbuements. Now, with imbuements, you're going to put 1 point in deadly venom. You're going to put 1 point in alchemical advantage, and 3 points in debilitating toxins. This is for your trap. You're going to be constantly, so these work well with your traps over here. Um, Laying your traps all the time make your enemies vulnerable. They become stunned, and it gives you an advantage on the mobs that you're attacking. The reason why you want a lot of cooldown is because you want to be able to place those traps as much as you can, as much as possible. Once you're done in your imbuements, you're going to come down to your ultimates. Now, in your ultimates, this is your main skill that you want to be using, which is Deathtrap. Deathtrap will take your mobs or anything that's around you. It'll suck it into one spot for you. So when you're using your puncture and then you're hitting them with the twisted blades, your blades come back and do the spin around your guy. That's where you're going to be doing most of your damage. So Deathtrap really complements your twisting blades and your poison trap, which you can drop your poison trap, then you're going to cast, a couple punctures, or you can have your punctures out ahead of time. That way you have your resources up, so you can use your twisting blades. When your twisting blades come in, it all comes together. Poison trap, twisting blades. Your twisting blades start to go around. You have your death trap going off, which is sucking everything in. It makes everything just go down so much more quicker. So you're gonna put 1 point in Death Trap, 1 point in Prime Death Trap, and another point in Supreme Death Trap. Supreme Death Trap, every time you kill an enemy, its cooldown is reduced by 10 seconds. This is very helpful towards Death Trap itself, as you want as much cooldown reduction as you can, so you can be spamming them pretty much all the time when in a bunch of mobs. Enemies are pulled into Death Trap when it activates. Like I said, when you're casting Death Trap, it pulls everything in. That way, your Poison Trap and your Twisting Blades can get the best AoE effect on the mobs that are around you. Now, you're going to put some points, 2 points into Aftermath. You're going to put 1 point into Adrenaline Rush. And then you're going to put in 3 points into Haste. Now, after you're done that, you're going to move from your ultimate skills and you're going to come down to your key passives. Your key passives, you're going to go to Exposure. Now, Exposure, dealing direct damage to an enemy affected by traps, has up to 25% chance to reduce the active cooldown of your trap skills by 20%, which is amazing. It allows you to get your stuff out a lot quicker, it reduces the cooldown, and you're doing more damage. Drop a cluster of exploding stun grenades that deal X amount of damage. Physical damage and stuns enemies for X amount of seconds. This is extremely helpful because the more we can lock the mobs down when we suck them in, the better we are off. The more damage we can do. This is a very quick build. I switched from the regular Death Trap build just so I could farm more efficiently. It has been amazing so far. And the only thing that you're going to be changing in this build from the regular Death Trap is you're going to be taking Dark Shroud out and giving yourself Shadow Step. Shadow Step is amazing. It allows you to get around quicker. You can use it for whatever you want. You can use it for the extra damage, or you can use it to get around quickly. So, that being said, some of the aspects that changed in this build, let me get my character. So, the boots. Shadow Step has an additional charge. Killing an enemy with Shadow Step refunds a charge and increases the damage of Shadow Step by 6% for 2 seconds, up to 30%. Very helpful. It allows you to keep your charge. So that means when you're in a bunch of mobs and you're attacking stuff, you can recharge your Shadow Step so you can keep using it and spamming it. If you use it on an enemy that is not almost dead, it will not give you your charge back. So that's one of the new aspects that are in this build. We're going to come over. Twisting Blades is, of course, normal like the regular Death Trap. Let's go over basic skills is the same. You got a lot of these are all pretty much the same as what you had on your regular Death Trap. You are going to change, so you're going to change your boots, and your main hand weapon, which is using an agility skill, reduces the cooldown of your next subterfuge skill by 20%. Using a subterfuge skill increases the damage of your next agility skill by 15%. That is huge for us. It increases everything. It makes this build so much faster. It's more enjoyable. The other build I would say, which is, Death Trap with Shroud, kind of makes me feel like it's more for, like, if you wanted to push like a higher Nightmare key, whereas you get more mitigation. Now it's up to you what you want to do. I mean, there's probably tons of options you could go with your Death Trap build, and move on from there. But I found this to be the fastest. You can move pretty quickly through the Nightmare Dungeons and carry some of your friends if you'd like. I am 91. Level does make a little bit of a difference because you get more Paragon points. You can fill out more of your boards and add the proper glyphs. Um, let's see. Is there anything else? No, there was nothing else that I changed. I know some of these are pretty low. I'm still farming for better ones. So Paragon for the Deathtrap. What you want to do on your first board is you're going to want to still keep your closer. Closer for every 5 dexterity purchased within range. Cutthroat skill deals 5% increased damage. Now, once you level this to 15, it increases the radius of how much this puts out. So I'll start picking up and increasing, like you see right here. You get the green, which is 20% damage. You get the 10% cutthroat skill damage, which cutthroat is used by your twisting blades. So going back into the tree, your first board is going to be the is that closer? Yeah, closer. So on the first board, you're going to switch over. You're going to grab the next board, which is let's see if I can tell what boards these are. Um, doesn't tell me which board this is. So this is your base board. Um, when you go into the next board, you're going to pick your diminish. So you're going to want a diminish glyph, and your diminish glyph helps with damage reduction from enemies affected by your traps. It gives you 19 dexterity, damage to enemies affected by traps. Amazing glyph to use for the death trap. It helps with a lot of extra bonuses that you get from your skills. Again, level 15, it increases the radius on how much it affects. So if you're looking at these, it increases all of these rare nodes. Um, Once you're done with this board attachment, you are going to move to the next board, which is combat. You're going to go for your combat glyph, and of course, you're going to. This is the cheap shot. So if you look here, you can tell which ones are which. So this would be your starting Paragon board. When you move up to your next board, this one is going to be your deadly ambush, which is what you're aiming for on your next board here using diminish glyph. When you move over to your third board, you're going to put your points in respectively, and you're going to move over and get your next glyph, which is combat. And this board is cheap shot. You're going to go for cheap shot. You deal 5% increased damage for each nearby enemy that is crowd controlled. We are constantly crowd controlling things with our death trap, with our poison trap, making this legendary node work very efficiently for us as death trap, along with your combat, which is 80.2% critical damage with core skills. Skills that critically strike restore 12% of your energy. That way, you're not having to be starved for energy, so you can keep casting your skills using twisting blades, not casting puncture as much. After you are done with your cheap shot build, you're going to move up to your fourth board. Your fourth board is going to be where's the node there? Which is Tricks of the Trades. Now, they don't necessarily push you into Tricks of the Trades because it's mostly for marksman skill. There's more beneficial stuff you can take in this Paragon board, and you're going for turf, which is you gain 10% damage reduction against enemies and 58% damage to closer enemies. Once you're done with this, you're going to carry on to your fifth board. I haven't hit the fifth board yet, so I haven't explored those options yet. I believe the fifth board is it's going to be exploit. Again, I will have a guide at the bottom for the build that I am using. A very helpful guide. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you look at it. It is done by Max Roll GG. If you guys want, you can check them out too. Um, so that's pretty much it for the Rogue. I will put some gameplay in of the Speed Deathtrap build, and I hope you guys like everything that I've said so far. And in future videos, I'll be going over what certain aspects are, how to use them, where to get them, and what's important about them. So I'd like to thank you guys very much for tuning in. If you like this video, don't forget to put a thumbs up, make a comment, give me some feedback, subscribe. I do stream on Twitch TV. That's Virtual 1670. You can come check me out, ask any questions you want. But thank you so much for coming in, and I will see you guys later. Peace.